everyone, my name is Fran, one half of the Corporate Breakout Couple, and a few videos ago, we explored how well can one live on 5,000 take-home salary Sing dollars in Singapore. Well, today we're going to discover how well can one live on 5,000 Ringgit take-home salary in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Recently, Bloomberg reported that the Malaysian ringgit is actually a whisker of its 1998 record low. So what does that mean? If you're old enough and you're watching this, you might remember that 1998 was the Asian financial crisis. I myself was 18 years old and I was starting college, and I remember that the ringgit was so weak that a lot of my friends couldn't go to the UK to study because Malaysians had to go UK to study, right, for their overseas education. And a lot of them flocked to Australia instead. So for Malaysians, earning ringgit and living in Malaysia, what does this mean? It means that your purchasing power is getting weaker. Hence, in this video, we're going to explore how much take-home salary 5,000 can get you and what kind of life can you live in KL. Before I continue, we'll really appreciate it if you give a thumbs up and like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share this video with your friends. Thank you very much. In this scenario, let's assume that you're a Malaysian, you're from KL, so you live and work in KL, and your gross salary is 6,000 RM. Let's also assume that you're a young millennial, single, and you're currently living with your parents. Now, for our overseas viewers, Malaysians, it's quite common for Malaysians to live with their parents until they get married. Firstly, let's calculate how do we get to your 5,000 ringgit take-home salary. First of all, your gross salary is 6,000 ringgit, and then we must deduct EPF contribution of 663 ringgit. Then we deduct 1975, which is your SOCSO, your Social Security Organization contribution. Then we deduct 790 ringgit from your EIS, your Employment Insurance System. And finally, we deduct your income tax of 248 ringgit. For our overseas viewers, Malaysians deduct your taxes on a monthly basis based on your overall gross income for that month. So that will give you a total take-home monthly salary of 5,061 ringgit. First off, let's talk about transportation, because you know, in Malaysia, having your own car is not a want, it's actually a necessity. In this scenario, we are choosing this person to drive a Perodor Activa. Why? It's because, you know, KL is full of highways, so you want something that is a little bit more stable and big when you drive on the highways to and fro from work or whether you're going out shopping. So your monthly installment for Activa is RM750. 5 pumps of petrol per month will come up to 325 ringgit. I've also set aside 400 ringgit for toll, parking, road tax, and maintenance. So for transport, your total is 1,475 ringgit, which brings up to 30% of your take-home salary of 5,000 ringgit. Next up is telecommunication. You can get a great deal at Rate 1 at only RM40 a month with 65 gigs of data for your phone. Next up, let's talk about food, every Malaysian's favorite topic. And for food, I've actually catered 1,235 ringgit, which actually is 25% of your overall take-home salary. This budget that I've allocated for you for 1 month includes your food and groceries. And guess what? Because you're staying in your parents' house, which is your home, you get to have some weekday dinners at home as well, which means you save money, otherwise this budget will actually be higher. Now, for some of you who are thinking, wow, that's insane, 1,002 ringgit for food alone. Actually, if you watch some of our other videos that we touch on, KL is actually the most expensive state in all of Malaysia. Did you know that hawker food prices in KL actually starts at RM9 or even RM10 per dish, and a drink would actually start off at RM4? So for example, if you eat wanton mee, one plate for breakfast, and you order a tapping, it already means that you're already down 13 to 14 ringgit already for that day, and that's just for breakfast. Did you know as well, if you happen to work around the KLCC area and you eat one plate of chicken rice at the food court in KLCC, it will actually cost you 20 ringgit for one plate. Next up, you will give 800 ringgit to your parents as an allowance. Let me explain why. Seeing that you're living rent-free in your parents' house, this also includes free rental, free utilities, water, electricity, Netflix subscription, and maybe Astro as well. And it's also quite common for Malaysian kids to give allowances to their parents. So it is 16% of your take-home salary to pay your parents a monthly allowance of RM800 ringgit. Next up is your health insurance, which is 9% of your total take-home salary, which works out to be RM450 ringgit. And this is actually a very basic health insurance plan which covers death and critical illnesses as well as hospitalization. And since you're employed, your dental and your other medical needs will be covered by your company. You know, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, right? So I've actually allocated 10%, which is 500 ringgit, to fun stuff. So you'll have this budget to go for movies on the weekends with friends, karaoke sessions, probably a low-cost gym for your fitness needs, as well as a little bit of shopping. We must not forget about savings, right? So I've allocated 10% of your take-home salary for savings, which works out to be 500 ringgit every month. By now, you must be wondering, how much does this guy or girl have left for the end of the month? Well, let me save you the trouble. After all the expenses that I've gone through, he or she will now have left 61 ringgit balance. If you notice, I haven't talked about traveling at all, whether it is interstate Malaysia or overseas travel. However, if you think about it, do you think a young millennial would not travel these days? So where does the money come from? Remember, this person only has 61 ringgit left at the end of the month. Well, the money could come from bonuses or it can come from the 13-month salary, which is the AWS. Well, unfortunately, they could also eat into their savings. Remember that RM500 ringgit that I put aside? Well, that travel budget could come from there, unfortunately, which is also why many Malaysians have a lower savings rate. And there's always also credit cards and buy now, pay later plans, which is very unfortunate because many Malaysians are into heavy credit card debt. This brings me back to the beginning of the video where I talk about the weakening ringgit in Malaysia. Many Malaysian salaries cannot keep up with this inflated lifestyle, which is why they have to turn to things like credit card debt as well as buy now, pay later plans to fund this inflated lifestyle to afford things like overseas travel, branded things, and restaurant food. Once you get into debt, it's actually very, very difficult to get out of it. So of course, the best way is to not get into debt in the first place, which all starts with a solid financial acumen where you know where your every ringgit goes to. If you cannot afford certain travel or you cannot afford certain items, then don't buy them. Don't go on that holiday because you're only hurting your financial future even more. You know, as a Malaysian living in Malaysia, I know it's very alluring and very enticing. The moment you walk out of your house, there's always something for you to buy, for you to spend. For example, you are walking at a mall and then you feel a little bit thirsty, so you buy a cup of bubble tea from Tea Leaf. Then you feel a bit peckish, so you buy some sushi from Empire Sushi. And then you feel like you want to walk around, so you go into Daiso and you buy a few things here and there. And it all adds up, doesn't it? A few ringgit here, a few ringgit there, it actually doesn't seem very much, isn't it? However, when you add it all up, it can actually add up to quite a bit and it's all done in just a few hours. Be conscious of every ringgit that you spend and live within your means. As shown in the scenario, this person with a 5,000 ringgit take-home salary can still afford to drive a nice car and have decent meals and still have savings of 500 ringgit per month with some entertainment thrown in. The key is to be always aware of where you stand and don't compare yourself to others, and you can always work your way up. I hope this video has been an eye-opener for you, and if you enjoyed it, please give a like, share and subscribe to join our YouTube family, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Do you know we have an awesome community of like-minded people who want to win in life called the Breakout Community? Click on the link below to find out more and join. See you there!